Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about generating sponsor revenue. Um, I'm Chris. I am the client success lead here at FanThreeSixty. And I have Andy joining me from WIAA, which stands for Washington Interscholastic Athletic Association. WIAA for short. Okay, so a little background on the partnership between the high schools and FanThreeSixty. We began our partnership in 2017 with 2 state associations, and as of today, we sit at 9 state associations. Across all the schools combined, as you can see on this slide, they have some impressive numbers. They have 39,000 registered app users between the 9 associations. They have 12 million impressions of their sponsored assets and a whopping $210 million in sponsorship value. That's pretty impressive, and especially for high schools. So they do a really good job at getting sponsors in the app and having them every possible space that's in the app sponsored. So the other state associations that we support are Virginia, Oregon, Nevada, New Mexico, California, Arizona, Louisiana, Utah, and of course, Washington. Andy, can you take a few minutes and just share exactly what a high school association is and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. So at our core, state associations are effectively the governing body for high school, and in certain instances, like us in Washington, middle school sports and activities in our respective states. There's 51 state associations across the country, so all the states, in addition to the District of Columbia, who has their own association. I think it's important to know that every state's a little bit different. So the way we run things here in Washington isn't necessarily the way that things are run, even just to neighbors like Oregon or Montana, to either side of us. So in addition to managing the rules and regulations for our 400-member high schools and 400-member middle schools, most visibly, the WI runs over 130 annual state championship tournaments for the 21 different sanctioned sports and activities in our state. So we're a private nonprofit. We have no state funding outside of some nominal fees for member school fees. So about 70% of the funding of our annual budget comes from our state tournament events. So it's really critical for us to be able to devote a lot of our marketing effort to promoting those state championship events. And so I'm on the marketing side of things, and that's where a lot of my time and effort goes into promoting and then covering those state tournament events.
All right. I'm going to share, this is a spotlight that we did with WIAA, highlighting how we track sponsorship and how we can get that reporting back to the state associations so then they can share that with their sponsors. So as you can see, they have 115,000, and this is just WIAA, has 115,000 active registered users. That's a super impressive number, considering that, kids are in high school for 4 years, so you've got some transition, people moving in and out of the app. So the fact that they can keep that number high is amazing. Okay, so they have 4 million impressions, $1 million in sponsorship value, and this is just since 2021. So, okay, so you have all these assets. How do you get your eyes into the app, right? So the more users you get in the app, the more eyes you have on your content, that's the more proof of value that we can provide you to provide your sponsors. Okay. All right, so I'm going to let Andy talk a little bit about this slide and how exactly during tournaments that they use the app and why they find it valuable.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, like our state tournaments are our bread and butter, and we have seen really sustained adoption from the first year that we started using the app in our annual users and downloads. And I think that the reason we've had that success is that we really try to position our app as the best resource for people to stay connected and follow our state tournaments. So at the end of the day, we're kind of repurposing a lot of information that already exists elsewhere. Like people can go to our website to find it, or they can follow us on social media. But what we're trying to do is use the capabilities of the app to kind of consolidate and package that information in a way that makes it really easy for people to get what they're looking for. And so one of the nice things about the app is like we're able to kind of like segment people out based on their demographics and their user preferences as they download the app. And so that makes it really easy for us to push out information in a way that's relevant and kind of customized for people once those specific tournaments roll around. So essentially our process is to identify the core components of each tournament for things like brackets and rankings and live results and ticket information and streaming. And we're trying to organize that in a way so that when someone rolls into the app, they're able to get to exactly what they need as quickly as possible. And I think that another thing that served us really well is that we try to curate the information within our app as if we're the end user. So we're basically like forward thinking and like, if we were on site for one of our tournaments, is this a resource that we would actually download and use as a companion piece to help us kind of enhance our tournament experience? And, you know, a lot of the time our staff actually is using the app in real time when we're on site at events to get up-to-date information on scores and brackets and that kind of thing to help us cover the tournaments, keep people informed. So, you know, I think that we really work hard to try to make sure the content is dynamic, so that when people do open up the app, like they're seeing different things regularly, and that it's fresh and that they're getting timely information, so that if they're using it this year, it's something they're going to be able to recommend to people, or then when the next tournament cycle rolls around, it's something they're going to want to return to.
That's great. It's such a beautiful concept of like use the app yourself so that you know how to, you know, to tell other people how to use it. So that's great. So this is just a couple examples of some of the social media pushes that WIA has done, and pushing people to the app with all of their tournament brackets. Download the app. I mean, they have download the app, download the app, download the app. I mean, people don't know you have an app unless you tell them and you advertise it. So they do a great job of it. I know it's on their website as well. So Andy, is there anything on this content that you want to share, like from your point of view?
Yeah, I mean, I just will reiterate that we've made it a priority. We've made the app a priority for ourselves from a marketing and promotional standpoint. And so we really are using it as a companion piece to those other platforms like our website and like our social media, because I think there's a unique space for it to help people follow the tournament. So in the same way that we've done a lot of work building up and kind of curating our social media channels, we're doing the same thing with the app, and we're leveraging those social media channels to help people understand the app as a resource and why it's a little bit different than those two other platforms. So I think that another thing that really serves us well to that end promotionally and encouraging people to download the app is that we're customizing the messaging based on our sport or activity tournament to understand specifically what they can expect to get if they download the app and plan to use it as a resource when they're following tournaments. So, and the other thing I think I would note is that in addition to kind of doing this digital promotion that you're seeing in these examples on some of our social media channels, we're also doing a lot of on-site promotion. And so when people are in attendance at our events, we have, we have like sandwich boards set up. We're putting ads in our state tournament programs, encouraging people to download the app. As I mentioned earlier, like every state association is a little bit different. We run fully bracketed events, so it's anywhere from a 8 to 20 team bracket, all in one location. And sometimes there are multiple events going on in multiple locations across the state. So if you're attending one event, but you were interested for whatever reason in an event that's going on somewhere else, the app is like an incredibly valuable resource for people to not only follow what's going on at their own site, but also alternative sites all over the state.
Yeah, I feel like this is what happens when you have two kids in two different sports. Mom goes one place, dad goes to the other. Yeah, so works out well. So good job. All right, here is a little, just some numbers behind when they do those pushes during the tournament. So, they have a tournament in the fall. That week of the tournament, they had 12,000 new downloads. And then that added to their total, during that time, they had 13,000 active mobile users. And then the next tournament, again, 2,500 new downloads, more active users. And again, in fall or in the spring, 1,300 new users. So I mean, like, it's like everything they're doing is, you can see the proof's in the pudding, right? They're doing it and it's working, and that's why they have so many users that they do. So, okay. And I would say, the call to, sorry, this is one of the call to actions, and I would say that probably the most important thing that you can put in a mobile comm or an email is a call to action. If you feed it to people, you want them to do something, so give them the opportunity to do it. So whether it's buy tickets, view brackets, vote on this poll, it's always like, if you tell people what to do, they're more inclined to do it.
Yeah.
So, one of the things they do is they release their brackets early exclusively in the app, which does amazing. And most of the high school associations do this, and they see a huge spike in users because everybody wants to see those brackets early so they know who's playing where. Andy, do you have anything to add on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I've always approached our app kind of under the same philosophy as like a fan of golf. Like every year I'll download the Masters app because I really want to follow the Masters like during the week of the Masters, and then I'll kind of forget about it until the Masters rolls around the next year. And I know we have some users who are sustained users who are kind of like have the app and are interacting with that throughout the year, and some people who maybe just dip in during basketball season because they love basketball. And so I think we're heavily promoting the app during our 3 tournament seasons, fall, winter, spring. We do a lot of promotion right in the lead up to the state tournament and then while the tournament's going on. And I think we have really good pulse on what our most coveted content is. So like you're mentioning brackets, that's obviously something where we really own the content. We want to lead into being the one to deliver that content when people are kind of like clamoring for it, like once the seeding's complete. And so being able to utilize the app to like push that information out as soon as it's ready to go, and being able to deliver it again to people who have indicated like, we like basketball, we want to hear about basketball information, I think leads to the high engagement that you're talking about.
Yeah. We can look at that engagement. So this is the engagement that came just from that one app push. 27,000 impressions and 27% click rate, again, because there's a call to action on it, and then their engagement rate was 31%. So, these are things on every single app push or every single email that they can see. And then there's some reports and stuff that we can pull, so we can pull together like an entire campaign and give the performance of that. But like being able to have this at their fingertips so they can see, hey, we know this is reaching the people we need it to reach is super important as well. Okay,
yeah,
so just to wrap up, no, go ahead. Oh gosh, sorry,
I was just going to say, I would just add to that, like our sponsorship team has a very data-driven approach to the way that they're working with sponsors. And so being able to actually pull metrics from content that maybe is unsponsored, but has the opportunity to be sponsored, that they can go shop around, or when it comes time, like right now, when we're in between school years where we're kind of in recap mode and are doing a lot of debriefs with some of our sponsors, being able to like pull those metrics and go present them so easily makes that process like very easy. So this is a huge value add for our sponsorship team to have access to these kind of
Yeah, I always tell people, especially when we have a new client coming on, like if you don't have sponsors to put in every space, like, we can help you guys create some, sponsor logos that's even your own, venue or team or whatever. And that way you can get that data. So it's easier to sell that stuff to sponsors because you've got the proof of like, hey, we know this is what people see. This is the engagement rates they get. So that's great. So this all comes back full circle. Use your website, social media to push people to your app. Put out exclusive and engaging content in your app, and then you get people reading and interacting with those sponsored content, and then you can grow your sponsor value. It's a really simple concept, and we work really well together with WIAA as well as our other clients to be able to give them this feedback and all of those numbers so that they've got it to go out and sell better. So just have you seen the 2 examples that Sherlon and I shared today? We have a multitude of clients in our FanThreeSixty family. We partner with nonprofits such as Special Olympics, college athletics, performing arts, major and minor league sports teams, motorsports entertainment, and new live entertainment venues, super excited about that. So we apply these principles the same way to all of our clients, and we're always here to help, all of our clients get the most revenue streams that they can. So, Andy, thank you so very much for your insight today, and thank the rest of you for your time.